Hi, welcome to this SCSP program of SpidervellA. So here we are going to discuss about the Certified Security Professional program, which is co-developed by hackersvella, and in which we are especially going to focus on the industries, what is the requirement of the industries, and how the cybersecurity professionals are going to work in that industry. And we are going to ensure that also that what is the requirement of the industries nowadays, so that complete practical knowledge in this training sessions you are going to get. Right. So, you know that in industries, we know that lots of people are working as a cybersecurity analyst, then as a investigator, and in different domains they are working. Right. But what is their work as a initial? If I'm going to ask myself as a fresher, where I am going to see myself in the industry, what I am supposed to do. So at that time, there is a lots of questions are going to arise in the mind. Right. So where I am going to work in the industry, what will be my position, what task I'm supposed to do, and what skills which is required to get into the cybersecurity industries. So that all answers I will try to cover up in this session. So SCSP program is especially for the professionals and the freshers, those who are studying in right now in colleges and just looking for the training and jobs in the market. So the same scenario here we are going to discuss, like what is the requirement and how we are going to fulfill it. So SCSP program, which basically going to focus on the cyber security and how it is going to be help you out. So there are two terms I would like to discuss first of all, that is information security and cyber security. Right. So sometimes we are having confusion that information security and cyber security is both are same, but it is different. So I'm just going to type it down: information security, and another term we have cyber security. Right. So two terms are there: cyber security and information security. But let's talk about these terms. Information means information can be in hard copy, can be in soft copy, it can be written on the diary, it can be written stored in some of the hard disk or as a soft copy in notepad file, word file. It can be anywhere, right? So which you can just browse on the system. And there is also lots of registers where we are used to or diaries where we used to write our passwords, right? And in our like phone book we used to write some information. That is also what information we are going to store somewhere in hard copy. So information security, if I'm talking, then security is going to cover both the same things: physical and your soft copy as well. So physical security, like in the registers, if you're going to write down some sort of information, then how you are going to secure it? Obviously you don't want that your private diaries somebody should access, right? And your other systems are there, then there is some notepad files in which you are going to write, you have written or stored some important files on the system, and third person should view all those things. You don't want that. That is a breach into the privacy, right? So here if I'm talking about information security, then both physical and whatever your soft copy is there, which is in computer systems. So physical information which you are going to store, and in the soft copy whatever information you are going to store, it is going to be covered inside your information security. But when it comes to the cyber security, then specifically I'm talking about soft information. What is soft information? Which is stored in soft form, like in your system, in your computer systems, in a notepad, in an excel file, you have stored some sort of information. That is basically coming to that security is basically the responsibility of cyber security personals, right? And obviously when I'm talking about cyber security, so we are going to work in the IT domain. So obviously we have to take care of the data which is traveling on the internet and which is stored on the systems, on the servers, what type of data. And we have to give some access to the users, right? And with some sort of limitations, we have to take care which user can see what type of things on the server. So that is what we have to take care. And obviously how to secure it, how to encrypt it, right? How the data can be cracked, and how we can stop it from cracking from the third party. If the hackers are going to attack on the website, then how we can stop them as well. So that is all responsibility of the cybersecurity personals. Whatever the soft data which is going to travel on the internet, that will be the responsibility of the cybersecurity personnels. Now, if I'm talking about information security, both the securities, physical and in the soft copy manner. And if I'm talking about particular cyber security, what are the soft information traveling on the internet, on the systems, on the server? So we are going to focus on this one. Okay, so let's see that what are the things which we are going to cover inside this course and in the training, which is completely based on the practical, and we are going to see that how what practicals we are going to learn inside this. So mainly, if you are going to attend this weekly, then in the weekends we are having this 14 week program is it is, and in every week we are having some sort of targets. And if you are a regular learner, then obviously definitely according to the communication you are going to get the classes. Now here, if I'm talking about the course curriculum, right, information security, footprinting and recognize, system hacking, malware threats, then we are having scanning network sniffing. So all these content which is displayed on the screen right now. So see, you can see here system hacking is there. Obviously cyber security people are there, what they have to do with the hacking. Now if I'm talking about a person who don't have the knowledge of hacking, he cannot become a cybersecurity person also, right? The reason is what skills are required to become a cybersecurity personnel or professional. You must know how hacking is conducted, right? You must be having the skills of hacking skills, first of all. Now in hacking skills, what type of hacking skills you're required? So if I'm talking about the hacking skills, then what platforms we are using in the IT industries, like your mobile phones are there, right? Mobile phones, it is Android, iOS, right? Any of the mobile phone you're using, Android. Okay, next we are having systems, can be your network devices, right? Can be your firewalls, can be your server systems, can be your own system or office 10 client systems are there. You have to make sure that how this client, what are the flaws are there present inside the system, and how to fulfill all those what you say bugs, how to patch those things, which we are going to call it as a patch management, how to patch all those things that we are going to cover inside this. And next, related to the networks, we have to make sure that how the third person as an attacker, as a hacker, okay, so how he can exploit our network. And if we found any of the vulnerability in the network, obviously we have to protect it against the attack. So there is a statement well said that it is better to test your own infrastructure by yourself rather than if any other third party is going to attack on your system. If it is going to be get exploited, then you have to bear the loss, right? So it is better to protect your systems, and you have to test, you have to simulate hacking on your own systems, so that you will understand that how your system can be exploited, your infrastructure can be exploited, or your programs can be exploited. So you are going to understand all those things, and you are going to release the patch for that, so you will be ready to fight and ready to defend your team as well, and defend your infrastructure, defend your organization as well. Now if I'm in the industry, I'm talking, so we are going to work as in three teams. Okay, so what is that team? So one we are going to call red team, second is blue team, and there is another team called as purple team. Right. So purple team, red team, and blue team, there is some sort of agenda is assigned to all these teams. So as per the color, if I'm talking about red team, so red team is basically an aggressive team, or you can straightforward call it as a attacking team. Attacking, right? Red team is responsible for the attack. So what they are going to do, basically they are going to perform the attacks on the infrastructure. Means they are hired, they are all peoples are here in the red team, blue team, and purple team. They're all legally hired by some of the companies, or if we are running a cybersecurity company, so you will be having your offer letter in your hand as a security analyst, as a security engineer, you will be working in the company. But what is your task? As in the red team you are going, or in the blue team, or in purple team. So if you're in red team, then what will be your responsibility? Your responsibility will be basically to find out the bugs. By attacking on the systems, you are going to find out the bugs. if in case you have some sort of solution, if you're having better understanding of the coding and infrastructure, right, you exploit it. Sometimes we are going to exploit, but still we fail to give the answers that how to fulfill it, because of the lack of the programming language or infrastructure knowledge. We are not be able to give it, right? But anyhow, like, we just tried, and it got exploited, right? Because lots of databases are also available, tools are also available, which is used to exploit the things, and which is used to perform the attacking. And it is going to give you result. If any vulnerability is there in the systems, they are going to give you feedback as well. So here, in the attacking case, so you are going to perform the attack on the system. We are going to call it as a simulation of the attack, and you are going to simulate the attack. And whatever results are coming, if you can provide some suggestion to improve the security, how to do the patch management of that particular bug, so you can provide the suggestions as well. Now when I'm talking about blue team, so blue team is basically a defense team, right? They are going to protect your organization from third party attacks. Now, one team is actually going to test your own infrastructure, and the blue team is going to defend your infrastructure from third party attacks, right? So there are some hackers are there who is day by day they are going to try some sort of attacks, right? You have heard about ransomware attacks are there, then DDoS attacks are there. So they are going to try on different types of organization, like health industry, government organization, power industries are there, right? Thermal industries are there. Then you are having social medias also. Some of the hackers are going to play games, like some sort of they're just going to lure the users, right? So to attract them and to fall them in the trap, so they are just going to lure you. So now here what you have to do, so you have to make your employees also aware of that. So this is all activities, and you have to make your system also protected by using IDS and IPS, intrusion detection system and intrusion protection system. You have to apply on your infrastructure, right, in the software and the systems, right? So if any sort of in like intrusion is going to happen, then you will be able to your system will be able to track it, and it is going to forward it to the administrator, security administrator. So he can take the decision that whether to allow that or to disallow or block that system. So that complete activity will be handled, which is a defensive part, and it is a responsibility of the blue team. So this is all activities will be handled by defense team, that is was what we are going to call it, blue team. Now, next, if I'm talking about purple team, now purple team is basically going to analyze the things and going to make the communication between red team and blue team. So they are going to analysis. They're going to analyze the things, how many attacks are happening, how many defense are having taken place. So for example, red team is performing their task and blue team is performing their own task, right? But who is going to make the bridge between red team and blue team? So purple teams comes in the existence, and they're going to analyze the red team's efforts, they're going to analyze the blue team efforts also, and they're going to make a report that we have this many attacks we have simulated, and this many attacks have happened, and we have defended this many attacks. And if some of the impacts are there in the organization which we fail to defend, so what is the complete report? They are going to make a complete set of that, and they are also going to provide the suggestions to the red teams and the blue teams. They are just working as a bridge, right, between red team and blue team, right? So here your red team, blue team, and purple team is there. They are going to sometimes they are going to perform the joint operations, right? Whenever some sort of target is given, or some clients are having such type of requirements, or in if I'm talking about corporate world, then you will be having some sort of clients, those who are working on some financial stuff. So they never want to want that some competitor or some hackers should steal their all information, or they redirect the traffic of their companies, right? So what they want, they have given contract to the cybersecurity industries, and they are going to make sure by applying all their skills and the softwares and in that particular industries, and they're going to protect whatever information is traveling out of their organization, and what type of information is coming inside their organization. So that team is basically going to work in that organization, right? So it depends on the client requirements, how they want to execute and what is their demands, and how cybersecurity companies are going to offer their services. So there are three teams. I hope that this is clear: red team and blue team and purple team. If you are like that, my attacking skills are good, then you can go with the red team. And if you thinks that my what do you say, defense skills are there, then I'm good in that, I can do good in that, you can join blue team, you can go for that. If you're analysis, if you are having the knowledge of both the fields like red team and blue team both, then you can become analyst also, cybersecurity analyst, right? You can become a bridge between red team and blue team, right? So I hope that this team operations are clear to you. And in every industry there is a requirement of all these three peoples who belongs to some red teams, blue teams and purple team. Now let's come to the course curriculum, how it is going to be helpful for you in attacking scenario and defensive scenario, and as an analyst if you're going to work, how it is going to be beneficial for you. And let me clear that this is completely going to be a practical sessions, right? With some sort of theoretical concepts we are going to see, but moreover we are focused on the practicals. And in this practicals we are going to play on the virtual machines and oracle vms we are having, and labs we are having. So approximate 40 to 50 labs we are having, on which we are going to practice the things. And within 6 months we are going to ensure that most moreover we are going to make you in the practical. So we are going to make sure that whatever the practicals are there, all the knowledge must be delivered to you. Okay, so here this is the course curriculum. Now, if I'm talking about the first week, then this is basically ethically what we are going to hack the systems, right? We are going to hack the system ethically with some permissions. Ethically means with some permission, with the permission of the client. We are going to hack the system. Hack means we are just going to simulate it, right? Simulate the hacking. We have to just use that knife and cut the apple, but the thing is that with the permission, right? We are just going to take the permission from the organization or from the clients. So or the client will come to you, just they're going to ask you for that, like this is the software which my organization is using, and if you don't mind that, can you test the security of this software? So you're providing that security, so you are just going to hit that with some sort of exploits and some sort of like whatever the skills, cracking skills you are having, you are going to use that, and you are going to generate a report on that. What are the vulnerabilities and what are the weakness in your system, so you are going to make a report on that. So here what comes inside that, so first information gathering, which is basically footprinting and reconnaissance. Then system hacking is there, in which we are going to see linux system hacking, windows system hacking, right? And then your android system hacking. So different types of systems, how it is going to be get hacked or bypassed. So that skills we are going to gain here. And next, malware threats like trojans, virus, worms, how it is going to work practically we are going to see, and how your trojan is going to be get spreaded from one link. You have heard about that, like if you are going to click on the link you will be get hacked. So what is that basically, how it is possible? That is we are going to simulate with the help of the cloud. So we are going to see that how globally you can send the link to the clients, and it will be get hacked, right? So we are going to simulate all these practicals here. Next, scanning the network, scanning the organization. Then enumeration, in which we are going to find out the users information. The denial of service attack, like on irctc, in the morning time, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, lots of rush is there, right? So at that time if you're trying to access the website, you are not be able to, response time is very huge. So if you're going to wait for 1 minute, 2 minutes sometimes, right? So it also depends on the network speed as well, but your servers of the irctc is not responding at that time. So at that time you can say that in bulk, lots of peoples in bulk had tried to access the system, right? And at that time server is not responding basically. But that is a natural way, right? Means when the lots of people are accessing the website, this is a natural way. But when a single person is going to attack on the website, he is just sending a fake traffic to the web servers, and he is trying to make the servers busy. So at that time servers will be get busy and they are not be able to respond to some other queries, and one time will come, your server will be get shut down, right? And you know that when the once the server is going to be shut down, then it is at least going to take 4 to 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes to get back to its working condition, right? So that's we are going to see simulate the attacks, that how the denial of service is going to happen. Then session hijacking, same way sniffing, how you can sniff the information, find out the fruitful information from the traffics. Then social engineering, for example, your phishing attacks you are going to perform, right? So now next week agenda is basically how to hack the web servers and web applications and mobile platforms, and how you can implement the IDS, what is the concepts of the IDS intrusion detection system, firewalls and honeypots, and how it is going to be becoming fruitful in maintaining the security of your organization, and how you can evade this also. So this is what we are going to learn here. And the SQL injection attack, then cryptography, cloud computing, wireless hacking, in which we are going to see Wi-Fi hackings. And in the cloud computing you're going to learn the concepts of the cloud computing, cryptography, what are the different types of algorithms are there, how we can encrypt the message, how we can decrypt the message. That skills you're going to gain inside this second week. Now, in the third week, so as a cybersecurity person or trainee, there's a question like which language to read, right? So many people are having doubt, like Java is important or Python is important, right? So obviously, language is required. You cannot run away from the language, but you have to understand the language. So let us take one easy language which you can understand, and which is obviously it is having the wide scope also than other languages. So that language we are having, that is Python language. Now Python is very easy to understand, and it is obviously becoming very worldwide famous language in development, whether it's a web application or in scripting also. So we can do lots of scripting inside this, inside the penetration testing. We can write down own scripts to perform the attacks. We can generate the payloads in Python language. So that all we are going to learn inside this. And then how Kali's Linux, right? I hope that you have heard about this name, Kali Linux operating system, which is going to give you the platform to perform the penetration testing, and the forensic investigation also it is going to give you the platform. So Kali operating system is one of the famous, or you can say hackers favorite. And but in the same series you are having Black Arch is there, then you are having Parrot operating system is there, right? Different types of operating systems are there, but Kali is also Linux based. So whatever commands on Linux is going to work here also, it is going to work. So this is just one of the flavor of the Linux. And lots of tools you can say, it is fully loaded gun. So you have to understand that when to use which tool to use in this operating system, right? So next, system shells by using Weebly, then injecting images, then how to hide the information behind the image, right? We are going to call it as a stenography also. So that is what we are going to learn inside this. Next week plan is basically going to be focused on same. We are going to carry forward the Python and the Kali Linux. What is the combination? And by using Python also, how we can work on the Kali Linux, how to create the scans, and how to read the binary packets. Then how this one port scanning and the nmap operations are going to be working on the Kali Linux. So that complete practical scenarios we are going to see. Then mapping, then Metasploit framework is there, which is one of the biggest framework which every security and the hacker, I'm just going to take the name of hacker, must master this tool, right? Why? Because this is going to give you lots of functionalities which is overloaded, and this single tool or single framework is there, which is going to give you the complete accessibility to information gathering, then scanning, then you are attacking, then you are maintaining the access, then you have to clear the tracks also. All these five scenarios you can completely perform with the help of the Metasploit framework. Next is end-to-end testing. So in the next series we are having the complete This is what I'm talking. This we are having the complete session for this metasploit, how the Linux commands, basic commands, as I told you that Linux basic commands is also going to work on this. But here, moreover, what are the special commands or special tools are there which is installed on the Kali and we have to use, which you cannot find on the other Linux operating system, but on the Kali you are going to get it. So now next, programming fundamentals for the pen testers, how bash scripting is going to work, network pings, right? How to perform the network pings, if the network IP address is live or not, which port numbers are opens. That with the help of the programming also you can do. So in case, what is the use of the programming to understand this? Just let us take a software is available in the market which is used to scan the network, which is used to exploit the networks also, but they are just going to give a license for that. So for license you have to purchase it, and it is going to cost you in lakhs also, right? For single user, in lakhs also you have to pay per year. So every year you have to renew it. Obviously it will be a challenge for the organization where they are not going to pay huge amount of money, right? Because they have to pay salaries and all, right, to you also. So what they're expecting from a attacker or hacker or security peoples, what they're expecting, that they should also know the scripting language. If they know the scripting language, so they don't have to purchase it, and they can integrate your manual scripts inside the tools. And you also, and company can also not wait for the next coming updates and all, right? So if a person is there who is having the scripting knowledge, so he can just write down his own script, and he can use it in his manual environment, right? So that is what a tool is not sufficient to perform all the operations. So where you have to perform the manual operations without any tools, manual skills you have to use. So at that time definitely you must be having the knowledge of the scripting language. So here Python is going to play a very big role in that. And with the metasploitable framework, right? Metasploit framework is there. This is completely designed in Ruby language, but yes, payloads you can generate in Python, and you can launch it with the help of the uh, Metasploit as well. Okay, so next comes to the information gathering. Then step by step in the depth we are going to see how to gather the information as when as an attacker you are going to work, right? As a hacker or attacker or any domain, right? So we have to take care of some points, right? So here the points, basically, if some case is given to me, right, how to handle that case, where to start, how to start, right? So there are some of the steps we have to remember. First is information gathering, right? Without gathering the information you cannot move forward, and you cannot do anything. So you cannot perform the attack also, right? So if you're trying to do a random attack on the organization, on the infrastructure, obviously you will be get caught, and you have no clue that what to do, and randomly you are going to perform the attack. So that is also one of the foolishness we are going to do. So we have to first of all gather the information. Then next we have to scan the networks, and we are going to call it as a scanning, right? When you have gathered the information, second step, how to do the perform the scanning, whether using nmap tools you can use, rust scanner you can use, lots of tools are available, angry IP scanners, right, for the windows. Then you are having vulnerability scanners are there, right? Zenmap, right? All these tools are available, which is going to give you the clue that what to do next. So for example, manually if you are going to scan the organization, then it is going to take very huge time. Like, it is not about hours, it may be for weeks as well, and for months also. So if you're going manually, then it is going to take too much time. So we are having some automated tools which is going to scan the target and going to give you a complete results. Now after scanning, when the scanning is done, you will be having the list of vulnerability in your hand, and you know that which port numbers, IPs are working on the target, and you will be ready to perform the attack. So here in the third step, we are going to perform the attack after the scanning, and here actual hacking is going to be happen. I'm saying that hacking at what place? At third stage in the attacking phase, you will be having the hacking. So hacking like attack you are going to perform, and after this attack, we are having maintain access. So attack is basically also known as gaining access. Gaining access, or you're going to call it as a attack also, or hacking as well. And after this you're going to maintain the access. So once you're going to enter inside the organization network, so how to maintain the access by using reverse shells or some sort of exploits, or sending the payloads to the server and store it somewhere where normally people are not accessing, or administrator is not visiting to that particular folders. So we have to find out those places and we have to store that payloads inside that in that place. So next step, which is one last step and very important step, that is the clear the tracks. Now, whatever the footprints you have left on the server, you leave on the server, we have to clear all those tracks so that there should be no any backtracking. So to remove that things, to avoid yourself or you to avoid from getting caught, so you can clear the tracks from the system, from the log files, whatever the logs are stored on the system, events are stored on the system. So you have to clear all those tracks so that you are at the safer side. So information gathering resource can be anything. It can be your information, social media, it can be your linkedins, it can be your website, right? It can be from web archives we can visit and we can check that what are the information we are going to capture from that sources. After the information gathering, we are going to perform the scanning, vulnerability scanning, network scanning, IP ports, protocols we are going to scan. Then if I'm talking about gaining access, so here we are going to do the exploiting, going to perform the exploitation, and we are going to use different types of scripts and tools. We are going to, in the combination also you can use in the gaining access step. Next, in the maintaining access, so here also scripts we are going to write down to get the reverse shell back to our system. Then that is going to be inside the maintaining the access. And after maintaining access, you have to clear the records, clear the logs and events logs from the system. So that comes under the last step, which is clearing the tracks. So I hope that these five stages are understood to you. Now every ethical hacker is performing this all these five steps from first to fifth step. Now step by step you have to perform. For example, if you have gathered information, then work on the scanning, then do the attack. And if you're not be able not getting success inside that, then again do the information gathering, then again do the scanning, then again do the attack. So if any stage where you are not be able to getting success, so you have to get back to the previous, and again previous, you have to move forward from the previous to first step to second step, then third, then fourth, fifth, right? Like this you have to move on. If you again failed at, then again go back to previous step. So like this you have to work on this. And no doubt, anyhow, we are able to get the access, but not every time, because security is also there. So if we are getting like failure sometimes, so you have to generate a report like that we have performed this types of attack, but your systems are secure, good enough to handle all this attacks and exploits. So we can mention that types of things, but whatever attacks we are going to simulate, so that complete report we have to generate it. Okay, so now next in the course curriculum, next week agenda, you are having exploitation, as I told you. So in the exploitations, how to do the exploitation, how to perform the injections on the server, and how to attach the other IPs, right? How to you take use of the backdoors, and how to get the reverse shell connection to your own system. And then advanced exploitation we are going to see in exploiting Java, social engineering, bypassing the antivirus softwares, right? What are the client side attacks are there, so that comes under the advanced exploitation. Now once the exploitation is done, how to what to do after the exploitation, which files are there which we have to interact, and what are the exploits which we have to leave, in which folder we have to leave it. So that complete planning we are going to do after exploit. You have entered inside the room, but now what to do? You have entered inside the house, now what to do, what things to pick, what things to leave. So that is what we are going to learn inside post exploitation. Now, exploit development and language by using Python, we are going to see the exploit development. Then web apps, and web apps, what are the operations and what are the vulnerabilities, how to find SQL injection, file inclusion, cross-site scripting, accesses attacks, how to do. So that is what we are going to learn in this week. Okay, now let's come to the smartphones, right? We have learned till now what is the agenda of the web applications and web servers, how to do the attacks, and what are the attacks we can perform on that. Now, next comes to the mobile platforms. Lots of APKs files are there, your iOS files are there. Now, how to find out that what permissions they are asking, and how to hack somebody's phone by using some sort of APK scripts and all, right? So how APK file, if you're going to install it, how you can get the access remotely. So all these things we are going to do, learn inside smartphone pen testing framework we are going to use, and which is also known as SPF framework. So SPF, how to work on, how to attach some sort of apps, and how to do the testing of the application, what type of access they are taking from the user, right, mobile phone, and how it is going to work, and pen testing of the mobile devices we are going to learn inside the smartphone pen testing. Then password attacks, like password is in the encrypted format we are going to get. Obviously, none of the developer is going to leave the password openly in the database. They are not going to store it openly in the plain text, right? So they are going to encrypt it. Now, how to decrypt it? By using the online platforms, by using offline password attacks, how you can decrypt it. That's what our agenda will be there here. So how to perform the password attacks, then online password cracking and password attacks offline on the offline system, right? And then how to use this HVCD. This is also fully loaded utility run you will be having. So lots of tools are there inside this what do you say, utility tools are there, which is going to deal with your hard disk or Windows application, Linux applications and all, which we are going to see in the practicals. Now, after this, we are having the security part. In the security part, as I told you, that there's a IDS and IPS, which we have to learn, that what is intrusion detection system and how the intrusion protection system is going to work. In this, we are going to take use of the SNOT application, which is actually full of policies we have to write down according to the organization, and every organization is having the different policies. So you cannot say that in this organization I have worked, or the same operation we have to do in the next organization. So you cannot give guarantee of that. So it is according to the organization, what is their requirement. As per the requirement only, you are going to create the policies and the rules and firewalls, right? You have to write down it in some sort of statements we have to use. So that is what a complete session on the SNOT, IDS and IPS you will be getting. What are the modes of this SNOT, and how to write down the what would you say, rules for this, and policies, how to write it down. So that is what you are going to learn inside this. Now, next is Burp Suite. Burp Suite is basically a web penetration testing tools. Obviously, you can go with the application penetration testing. You can also see the traffic, what type of traffic is sent to the server, and what server is responding. So you can capture all the requests inside Burp Suite. You can manipulate it by using repeater, target, right? And then proxies and sequencer, scanner modules are there, intruder and comparer modules are there. So we have to learn in depth that how it is going to work, what is the concept behind it. Basically, you are just going to hold the request and you can modify it, and you are just going to forward it to the server. So that is what you are going to learn inside the Burp Suite tool completely. Then Snot installation. Snot is we have discussed already about the Snot, but here it is a big tool. So we are just going to see how it is going to work on the Windows environment, Linux environment, then IPS, IP tables, the right configurations, how to configure it, then payloads, then non-payload rules, right? Then components of Snot rules. So that is what we are going to see, and the lab implementation of the Snot IDS and login alerts you are going to get inside this. Now, next is one of the biggest sniffing tool we are having, or network packet analyzer, which is your Wireshark tool, in which we can sniff the traffic of the network, what type of information is going out of the network, what type of information is incoming information is there, so that you can sniff, and you can analyze the traffic, what type of traffic, what type of traffic, right? I'm just taking the use, what type of traffic is going out and what type of traffic is coming inside the organization. So you can completely sniff and you can filter out the packets as per your need inside this. So this is also one of the biggest tool and required tool in the industries, most demanding tools in the industries, so that we are going to master in this. After this, as a cybersecurity analyst or any of the engineer or a specialist, in the end, we have to do the risk assessment. We have to do, for example, if any organization is there, so we have to understand that what type of risk, and we have to make them also understand that what type of risk is there for their organization, and we have to make a report and how what is the plan to execute to secure their organization from the different types of attacks. So complete pen and paper work, or you can say soft copy work, is there, in which you have to make the plan ready, in which we need some presentation also we have to give, right? Analysis techniques we are going to use, and what are the metrics are there, calculations we have to we have to present in the front of board of directors are there. We have to make them understand because they are completely non-techie guys, so we have to make them understand that what type of risk is there and how much loss they can bear, what is the target, how what is the impact if they are not going to recover it, right? So now this is what we are going to call it as a VAPT report documentation. If a client is giving you their application, website, or mobile application, anything they are going to give you to test, then in the end you have to make a vulnerability assessment and penetration testing report you have to make, in which you are going to write down that which link is having the vulnerability, which how you have performed the attack, what is the concept of uh, attacking and all. So you have to attach the proof of concept with that, and in the end you have to give some solution also to how you are going to solve it out, right? So that suggestions you can give them, whether it is a temporary solution or it's a permanent solution, you have to mention it, right? So all this what topics we have discussed here, this is completely going to be a practical session for you, right? Because there is nothing like a theory session or just like words I'm going to tell you. So there is nothing like that. So on the machine we are going to see the practicals, so how it is going to actually going to work, and what is the fruit we are going to get, how to make the documentation of that. That is what we are going to learn here. And in the end we are having the CTF challenges. So CTF challenges from the day one only we are going to start, but when it will be like that. One CTF challenge I am going to show that how to do it. CTF challenge is just a capture the flag challenge, in which you will be having one target machine and you can perform the live attack on that particular machine, and you can gain the practical experience also, that how actually all these attacks are working, and how we can simulate the attack, how we can take use of the payloads, the complete stuff you are going to gain the practical knowledge in the capture the flag challenges. So it will be a challenge for you. One I'm going to solve with my guidance you're going to solve, and another will be a task for you. So you can just take it as one on one. One is just with me, my assistance you're going to solve. Another one is a challenge for you, you are going to solve, and just give me next day your, you can take your time to solve that practicals as well. So this is what a practical approach towards the attacking, defensive, and analysis. According to that, we have the practicals in this one SCSP program. So I hope that this curriculum is clear to you. Now, if you are having any sort of doubt, you can just leave a message on the number or whatever, who the person who is in your contact. So you can just talk to him. Okay, so I hope that now this is clear. So this is all from my side, and thank you very much.